Hi, I'm Chanel. A charity on the Isle of Man says more support is needed for people with disabilities. I spoke to Edward and Michelle from the Manx Stroke Foundation. I also spoke to Douglas South MHK Sarah Maltby about the incapacity benefit and how having it online will help people with accessibility issues.
A lot of times when you go into somewhere that you can actually get into, you can't always use the accessible toilets because for one reason or another they've become a store cupboard or they're locked. You can't find anybody who's got a key. Car parking, accessible parking spaces have dramatically reduced. So for somebody whose mobility is limited but they can still drive, it's very difficult for them to actually get to places because it's just literally too far away. What else? What do you notice?
Well, I mean, places, they kind of maybe have a token disabled space and not really think about. For me, that is. I mean, it's. I'm not thinking of events like places for a meeting, but I'll give you an example. The railway station. I went down there to park, and the disabled spaces are two regular spaces with a disabled sign on them. They're not wide enough to open my door, which I need my door opening wide and fully, and also right next to it is a bollard. So really, that's kind of, it's just poor planning. You know, some people they do add these things on, but then they're able-bodied and they're not disabled. I think maybe sometimes they need a bit of input from somebody who's disabled. And the other one as well is I mean, I don't know if I can say it. Actually, it was, well, I'll say it now because you can edit this out if you want to. But Cycle 360, which is right next door to my work. I went there. I don't go there very often because it's expensive. But yeah, I went there when it was not long opened, and I said, "Oh, I couldn't see a disabled space," and we haven't got one. And I mean, it's a new build, so it should have. I don't know if it's by law they should have had one, or
I think they've actually got little tiny signs buried in the hedge.
Okay, I think at the time when they built it, it wasn't law, but then it came in afterwards. Yeah. But then they said, we've already they've got nice paving on the car park, like little cobblestone sort of things, and they've integrated the spaces in there. So I think adding a disabled space with a wider door opening bit would mess up their nice car park. So yeah, it's things like not planning ahead and just thinking, that'll do. I'm on one now. Sorry. The other thing is as well, you know, the when you press the button to open the door, and they put that so far away from the door that by the time I get to the door's closed. So it's kind of a token gesture. We've got this in here. It's fine, but they've not really thought about it. It's kind of a lot of people, when I say things that and the twigs, like you can see, oh yes, I understand that now, but yeah, it's not until you're actually in that situation that you think, yeah, it needs to be better.
And sometimes it's not. You're not expecting them to rebuild a building. You just want a small modification, whether it be a doorbell or something, so that you can let people know that you're there, and you need some support.
I know this world isn't built for disabled people because the majority of people aren't. So I understand that it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be made for somebody who's disabled. And it's catching up because a lot of our buildings are old, and you can't modify. I mean, used to go to physio at the market, and the door was quite hard to open from the outside. But I said, would they consider a automatic door? But they said, because it's a listed building, they can't do things like that. So it's kind of restrictions.
Does it discourage people who have disabilities to leave the house because they don't have that accessible
Yes.
areas?
Yes. There's more disabled people shopping online now. They don't bother to going out very often because lack of car parks, lack of transport, lack of facilities in general that are going to make a day out in a shopping centre more pleasurable. It's just not there for them, so they tend to stay at home and shop online, which then affects our economy.
Have you guys tried to address it with anyone, any ministers, MHKs or anything? The need or the lack of accessible spaces?
So we certainly haven't recently, but it's one of the things that is on our list to start doing.
Well,
we will be tackling people.
I did actually have a mini victory. It's actually, strangely, it was at Victory House. It was my physio moved from the market to the Victory House, but the parking outside there was only half an hour, and my physio was an hour. So I actually wrote to the one of MHK. I can't remember his name, but yeah, I got. It was a nice letter. I had help from my dad, to actually where to send it. Well, and it's been confirmed that that's going to be increased to an hour, and also there's going to be more spaces added there because a lot of people just park on the road and just chance it. I mean, I've not seen any parking wardens there to actually change that, to actually book them. Sorry, but that was something that was a personal mini victory, but hopefully it's going to benefit anyone else in that situation who needs parking there.
When was that? Was that recently?
It was early in the year, but we're still. It hasn't been changed yet, but a notice has gone in the paper to say it's going to be changing. So that was my first little campaign.
Can I start with your name and your title?
Yes, my name's Sarah Louise Maltby, and I'm MHK for Douglas South and Social Security Delegated Responsible Member.
Now, perfect. Now, we've had something amazing come through in terms of incapacity benefit. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we are really excited to launch the online transformation project. This has been a project that's been in the pipeline for a number of years. Customers have said the needs to be improved. Family members of people trying to make claims have said that the system needs to be updated. And we are finally at that stage now where it has been launched, and we are really, really happy to reach this milestone to bring along incapacity benefit as our first benefit to be applied for online.
Now, why is it that this was the first form to be developed online? Have you had people mention how difficult it was for them? Have you had people in your constituency mention it?
Accessibility to benefits and allowances has always been an issue. It's been an issue for as long as I've worked for as a carer before I was an MHK. It was something that has always been something that really frustrates people. The social security system should be there to be able to offer a safety net for those people. However, it just became a bit more of a barrier to get access to it. So now, by removing the barrier of not having an online system, we hopefully will encourage people to come forward to ask for help and to seek support from the Social Security Division if and when they need it.
How will it benefit, or how's the feedback been since you've announced this?
So incapacity benefit was chosen as the first for online form to be developed due to the high volumes of claims and submissions that we received for that one. So what we did is we had a bit of a soft launch, and we asked customers as they were coming into Markwell House, can you have a look at the system? Do you think it works? Is this easy to manage and to navigate? And people were really happy with it. So that's why we continued to press forward with this being the first benefit to be able to get claimed online. So it really is one of those ones where we see the highest turnover of customers, because quite often it's a short-term incapacity benefit that's applied for. So it just gave us that it was a good one to start with, just trial our system to make sure it's going to work, and before we roll out to those more complicated and more complex benefits and allowances. So that's the reason why we chose it, and hopefully we can now move on to the second phase and the third phase of the rollout of this programme to make the Social Security Division work for the people of the Isle of Man.
You're one of the people that's been championing for disability-friendly areas. This definitely is a step in the right direction. Can we be doing more?
Absolutely. So this is a really positive news story for accessibility. Not only will this reduce the amount of processing time and any error or any fraud detection, what this will also do is allow for the accessibility, people who have accessibility barriers. We've, alongside of the online platform, we have actually decided to review our forms, because paper forms will still be available, because people do like to use that as an alternative form to, well, hopefully that'll be the alternative form of application. So at the same time, as well as doing the online transformation project, the paper forms are being reviewed. Do we need to ask that question again? Can we actually strip back some of the complexities of the forms just to make it so it's not so much of a barrier to be able to get that support? So we are hoping that this really is transformational. You know, when people talk about transformational, you know, you kind of look and think, well, okay, yeah, they've sort of tweaked with it, but no, this really is a transformational project, and I'm delighted to be part of it and to be able to be the driving force behind it, because like you said, accessibility for me is very important. And we have consulted with different charities and organisations on the Isle of Man regarding our forms, and when we come to the DLA form and the DLA application online, we'll certainly be asking for as much feedback as possible from the service users and their families, just so we can actually ensure that we'll get it right for them, because it has to work for them.
Is it a step in the right direction?
A massive step in the right direction. I really, really wanted to be able to deliver on this, and I'm so pleased that we've managed to get everything together, and the offices and the time that's taken to do this is significant. However, we've got to get it right, and I think that we're at that point now that we can do this. You know, this is one of the things that, like I said, I've talked about for years and complained about and felt frustrations with myself when I've sat with clients trying to fill in forms back before the election, trying to navigate this form where you think, what the heck, you know, this is just too much. It's such a challenge for people. So no, just to be able to finally bring in this first phase, but please be assured that we are looking at everything within Social Security when it comes to accessibility, efficiency and convenience to make that the Social Security system and division work for the people of the island.
Now, perfect. I think my last question is this now going to highlight the need for more accessible, friendly areas?
Accessibility across the Isle of Man government is something that is important. You know, we are every decision is made does require, well, most decisions do require a quality assessment, impact assessment done. So it is an important part of what we do as an organisation. But yeah, of course, it could always be better, but one step at a time is better than standing forward, and I will always be I will always champion areas of accessibility, and because it's just so important right the way through from all spectrums of accessibility. This isn't just for one a model as one size fits all. It will always have to be something that is developed and worked on, but while I've got the opportunity to be around this table to making these decisions, that's something that is very important to me, and you know, something I'm going to make sure that I do deliver on.
No, definitely. Thank you so much, Sarah. Is there anything you'd like to add or say, anything that we didn't mention that you'd like to mention?
Yeah, I would just like to say that there is only one barrier I could see to this now, is that people do need to apply for the Isle of Man Government online services. So that's how we are delivering this through the Isle of Man Government online services website. So if they haven't already got an account with the online services, then please jump on board with that and get registered, because once you're registered, then you'll then be able to apply for the benefits and allowances through the online programme that already exists. So the only thing I would say is please get registered, and then if you are having any issues with that and probably something, you can call into Markwell House and they'll offer that support Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock, or you can email incapacitybenefits@gov.im or call 685 656. But yeah, get yourself registered on the Isle of Man Government Online Services website, and then you'll be able to access the first benefit, incapacity benefit, online.
Thank you for making it to the end of the Little Manx Radio newscast. You are obviously someone with exquisite taste. May I politely suggest you might want to subscribe to this and a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so our best bits will magically appear on your smartphone. Thank you.